Console exclusives have long been a cornerstone of the video game industry. From all the way back in the days when Sega was warring with Nintendo and looked to strike a major blow by offering their new flagship franchise, Sonic, as a bundle with the Genesis, a move that brought Sega into the console war in a significant way. The importance of having a desirable game only on their console was put into perspective by former Sega America CEO Tom Kalinske in an interview with Polygon in 2017 when he said, quote, "I think we probably would have been successful at a modest level without Sonic. I mean, it would have been better than it was, before I joined the company, but I don't think we could have possibly passed Nintendo in share of market, and I don't think we would have reached about $1.5 billion in revenue in the United States and 900 million in Europe without Sonic. So Sonic contributed tremendously to that," close quote. More recently, the battle has been fought between Sony and Microsoft for dominance, as each have had their own franchises to entice gamers during the 360 and PS3 generations. Undoubtedly, many people purchased the 360 because they wanted to see how the Halo trilogy ended and take part in what was, to that point, one of the most hyped up multiplayer console games of all time. I know personally, I wanted a 360 to play Gears of War. So in 8th grade, I saved up my allowance and birthday money and bought myself one with a copy of Gears. I was blown away, and likely that contributed to my loyalty to the brand today. I play my Xbox Series S console more than my PS5 or PC. For Sony's part, they had Nathan Drake for the bulk of the PS3's run, but it was Naughty Dog's other IP that made me finally purchase a PlayStation 3 in 2013 when The Last of Us made its way into the hearts and nightmares of players around the world. That probably helped PlayStation slightly edge out the 360 in terms of console sales. Well, the 7th generation was essentially neck and neck. I'm not including Nintendo because they're just kind of, doing their own thing and really aren't a head-to-head competitor with the more traditional consoles. When the 8th generation came around, however, Sony took a commanding lead and has never really looked back. This forced Xbox to pivot their approach away from being a console-first company to relying on games to make their money. That's why they've purchased the likes of Activision and Bethesda, but kept the games multi-platform. PlayStation gamers were still able to play Call of Duty and Fallout while getting exclusives like Forza Horizon on their platform for the first time. This week, we saw the launch of Gears of War Reloaded, a remaster of the original Gears of War, the one that made me purchase 360 as a kid in the first place, released on PlayStation 5. Personally, I'm very excited for PlayStation gamers to get a chance to play this iconic franchise for the first time. I recently replayed it through the Ultimate version, and I have to say, it totally holds up. I'll probably do the same again with Reloaded. You might think that Sony would have just continued to make exclusives and keep them off Xbox platform, but like with any company, they have to continue to make more revenue quarter after quarter. So we've seen an openness from Sony to sharing their games. We first saw this when Sony became less guarded with their exclusives when they began to port their games over to PC. PC players were able to play games like Horizon Zero Dawn, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Days Gone, The Last of Us 1 and 2, as well as Stellar Blade, allowing for a new audience to experience these beloved titles for the first time. At that point, I don't think anyone was quite sure what the outcome was going to be. There wasn't a huge need for the Sony games to go to Xbox consoles, but there was an opportunity to make more money. As always, that's the one out, and we're finally seeing Sony games on Xbox. The first major game to make the jump is Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 was one of my favorite games of the past decade, and my personal game of the year for 2024. With this launch came the inclusion of a Halo-themed battle pass, so that players could get weapons from that iconic series, and it not only has given Xbox players the opportunity to experience a great game for the first time, it's also reinvigorated the Helldivers community. I'm once again seeing memes and clips as new players learn about all the systems, stratagems, and enemies. It's been utter chaos, because new players are finding new and creative ways to accidentally kill themselves and their teammates in the pursuit of democracy. This is all to say that the vibes in gaming right now are really great. Gamers are united in a way that they've never really been before. While both companies came to this point by different avenues, I think that for consumers, this can only be a positive thing. I look forward to more franchises like Halo or Horizon to make the jump from one platform to the other. So, what are your thoughts on the potential death of console exclusivity? Do you actually not think it's a good thing? I'd love to hear a counter argument in the comments. So yeah, just let me know. Other than that, thank you so much for checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. We have new videos coming out every single week. We also have Those Fake Nerds, where we cover more video game stories in a casual way. I'm trying to get as many videos out as possible all the time on that channel, so please go check it out. And we have our sports channel, where you get sports, as well as our podcasting channel, Better Radio. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.